Hi everyone, my name's Jason and I would like to welcome you to another episode of our new video series, Just What Is. Now here at North of Exile Games in beautiful Midland, Ontario, Canada, we host a lot of events for a lot of different types of games. There's always something fun going on. Some nights we're playing games like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon. Other nights we're doing board game social events, just getting out to play some board games and card games. There's actually a variety of different games we host, and today I want to talk about Just What Is, one of my personal favorite games in the whole world that I really love to play. It's super fun, it's really affordable, especially compared to its competitors in a similar type market, and it's Canadian made. There's just a lot of great things that I could say about it. The game I want to talk about today and explain to you just what is Genesis Battle of Champions. So before I get too far into today's video, I just want to share a little tidbit that all of our local Genesis players and players watching from all over, you're going to want to stay tuned by the end of this video because I'm going to be revealing some exciting Genesis related news in regards to North of Exile Games that I think you're going to be really excited to hear about. Now without any further ado, let's get talking about just what is Genesis Battle of Champions. So just what is Genesis Battle of Champions? Well, Genesis Battle of Champions is a tactical, collectible card game. Now for those of you who may have seen our previous Just What Is video where we talked about Magic the Gathering, Magic is the first ever collectible card game and it's been around for over 30 years. And it established the formula of collecting cards over time by buying them in what's known as booster packs, where when you open these packs you're going to find playable cards inside, but you won't know what's inside until you open them. It's the randomness and fun of collecting that you might remember from things such as hockey cards and baseball cards as a kid, where you buy a pack not knowing what's going to be inside. It could be any new card and you're hoping it'll be your favorite players or the most powerful, most skilled athletes. Well, it's the same thing in card games like Genesis. When you buy these packs, you're not sure what cards are going to be inside because there's a whole variety of them out there. But you're hoping that it'll be some of your favorite creatures or some of the most powerful spells, some of the most rare cards, because sometimes rarity equals great value, where some cards could be worth a lot more money than others. It's really fun and exciting to open packs, never knowing what you're going to get inside. And once you've opened up enough packs, you'll build a collection of cards and you'll have enough to build a playable deck. Now in Genesis, you need a deck of 50 cards exactly. And Genesis is pretty creative in how they've designed it so that you can use a variety of cards based on a point system where the more powerful cards have a higher point value, which is called chi. And the most powerful cards in Genesis might have up to 8 chi on them. And the weakest cards in Genesis only have a chi rating of 3. And with a 50 card deck, you have 250 chi points to spend total when you're planning out what cards to put in your deck, which means basically, long story short, every card in your deck has an average value of 5. If you want to put a slightly more powerful card that has a chi rating of 6 in it, then you're also going to have to put in a slightly weaker card with a chi rating of 4, so that at the end of the day your points always add up to exactly 250. So it's really cool. You can go with a very balanced deck where all the cards are pretty much 4s, 5s, 6s, nothing too crazy, and it's a consistent deck that always works out. Or you can go for the fences and swing with all your might by putting in some crazy powerful 8 chi cards that are super dominant. But to add those cards in your deck, you're also going to have to put in a lot of filler cards that are maybe only 3s or 4 power ratings. And it adds variety because you never know exactly how each game is going to work out. There's lots of different strategies on building your decks. There's lots of different champions in the game that you can build your decks around. Basically, the champion is the primary character that represents your champion, your commander of your deck, your leader of your team, the head of your army, however you want to visualize it in your head. Your champion is the character that represents you. And as long as your champion is still alive and kicking and in the game, then you're still alive and kicking. But if at any point your champion gets knocked out of the game, that's it, you've lost. But the great thing in Genesis Battle Champions is you're not going to be playing it alone, because you're going to have a 50 card deck filled with cards that represent powerful magic spells and abilities that your champion can use to summon all sorts of cool things, do direct damage to your opponent, whatever. There's all sorts of really cool combat strategies. And you can build your deck around it and wind up over time as you're playing the game on this huge 5x6 grid. We usually put out play mats, and I'll show a picture online of what they look like here. You'll set up this huge 5x6 grid. Your champion will start at one end of it. The opponent's champion will start at the other end, and every turn you take turns summoning new creatures, casting spells, maybe putting traps around for people to get trapped in. Lots of very cool things. It's a tactical game. You take turns maneuvering your pieces around the table, just trying to do one major goal, trying to knock out the opponent's champion before they knock yours out. It's a really fun strategy game. A lot of the appeal of collectible card games is that you get to have fun ahead of time, building your strategy, envisioning it, building your deck, tweaking it, getting it to where you think it's just right, and then coming out to your local store with your deck and seeing how it actually fares up against what other people have built, because there's such a diverse amount of strategies. You can build a super aggressive deck where you hope to just overwhelm them right away and sneak in fast damage, or you could be a very defensive deck where you're just trying to slow things down, put obstacles in their way so they can't get anywhere near you. Maybe sometimes some people will play with a champion who maybe has a really great reach attack. Perhaps they are equipped with a bow and arrow and they could hit 2 to 3 squares away, whereas the other champion is a really big heavy hitter, but if that champion only has an axe, they always have to constantly get right up next to you. So there's all these really cool strategies, different ways to play. It's a great game. And I'm going to tell you now that I've described it, all the reasons why I personally really love Genesis Battle of Champions. So yeah, to sum up my thoughts on why I love Genesis so much, it's a more affordable game than its competitors. It's really fun, and the proof is in that it's growing all over the world. People are playing it in a bunch of different continents and countries all over the place. It's growing well, it's affordable, and the game just speaks for itself. So that's why I'm really happy about it. I love supporting it here. Our players here are really passionate about it. In fact, a couple of our players will be going down to participate in the World Championships, which happens, I believe, November 19th and 20th in Toronto. There was a little issue with the venue that was booked. Apparently, unfortunately, as is the case with many businesses, they're having to shut down and go to business. So Genesis is actually right in the middle of securing a new venue. That is going to be announced really soon. And here's a cool announcement. North of Exile Games is going to be there as an official vendor. That's right, Genesis and I are packing up the deck boxes, the sleeves, the Genesis singles, all the cool North of Exile Games branded stuff, maybe even a cool surprise or two that you've never seen before. We're bringing it all down to the World Championship. We're going to be there live, in person, for the whole weekend, selling lots of products, flying the colors for North of Exile Games. It's going to be a great time. You're definitely going to want to be there, and we're going to be there to support the game because we love the game just like we always have. So that's some exciting news. I may have some more exciting news to tell you soon, but can't reveal it quite yet. But there's going to be some cool Genesis-related surprises coming up in the near future. That's all I got for now. I'm pretty sure that covers everything I want to cover today. I explained again what a collectible card game is, what makes Genesis stand out from its competitors, what they're doing right, what they're not doing wrong, all the reasons why I love them, and that North of Exile Games is very thrilled to announce that we're an official vendor, going to be at the World Championship for both days, November 19th and 20th. You're going to see our logo on the live streams across the world because we're sponsoring the live streams. We're vending at the event, and I believe in Genesis so much. It's a great game, and I know that if you come in and visit us here at North of Exile Games in Midland, and if you try Genesis, Wednesday nights are when Genesis Battle of Champions comes to life. Join us every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. for some fun and games as we play Genesis. It's free to try. It's fun to play. It's a Canadian-made card game. And you can join our growing community of gamers. If you're looking for something fun to do, then come down to the north at 342 King Street and come play tonight. If you try this game, you're going to love this game. That's really what I want you to know. Take care. Stay safe out there. It's been fun talking to you. Thanks for tuning in. And go north. focused. It's super affordable to get in to play it because the 2-player starter kit is only, I think it's $19.99. My memory fails me right now, but it's really affordable. It might be less. It's $19.99, something like that for. Okay, let's just do that again. Don't repeat yourself.